Hi everybody, my name is Brianna James and I am the founder of Breaking Chains, the Whitney Project, an organization, page, and YouTube channel dedicated to spreading awareness about addiction in the name of my sister who passed away last year of a drug overdose. So, what am I going to talk about today that's actually important? Well, I don't know if it's important to you, but I had the biggest scare of my entire life today. The biggest one, I promise you. It was horrible. So what was that scare? Well, I decided to go to Walmart today with my daughter, and I thought it would be a good idea to look in the automotive section for things for my car, because my car is a mess, and it's dirty, and I want to make it look nice. And it's also kind of a crappy car. So, is what it is. Gotta save money where you can. So, I am looking for windshield wipers for my car, and out of nowhere, I turn around and I cannot find my daughter. Now, she had been running off like 5 times earlier, but not very far, like 6 or 7 feet away when I'm supposed to be going one way, and she walks the other way, and I'm like, hey, stop, we gotta go this way. And I kept yelling at her because this is not cool. Like, I don't like that. Not cool. So, like 5 minutes prior, I saw a man go around the corner, and he was like staring at her, and then he looked at me, and then I didn't see him anymore. And my life just flashed before my eyes because, like, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, all those child predators are at Walmart, and I'm sure they're everywhere. And I'm sure that we don't have as many as I think. But I've been seeing a lot of Facebook statuses about, oh, this guy tried to take my daughter, I was followed, and so forth. And as we know, there is a lot of trafficking that does go on in all of these communities. Children are swiped right away from their mothers, and they end up in some prostitution ring or dead. Hopefully not, but it happens. So, I turn around and I can't find her. And at first I'm like, oh, she's probably like right next to me somewhere. So I go around the next hallway over, or the next aisle, and I don't see her. And I'm like, Lily! And I yell, Lily, where are you? No response. So I know she was trying to go to the toys, and she kept saying, come on, Mom, come on, I want to look at that toy, Mom, I want to look at the toys. And she kept bugging me, and I kind of ignore her because I hear her do this 24/7. It's like my brain doesn't even hear her anymore. So I'm like, Lily, hang on, I'm looking for something, you need to stop, hang on. So she is nowhere to be found, and I start running down to the other aisle, and I leave my cart where it is, and I go over to the toys, and I go to the LOLs, because that's what she likes. So, like, she was talking about getting an LOL, and I go over there, and I still do not see her. And I swear to God, I start seeing all these people I know. I saw at least 5 people I know, right? And I'm like, have you seen my kid? Have you seen this kid? And so forth. And, like, they're like, no, I haven't seen her. And, like, somebody tried talking to me, and I'm like, no, I'm looking for my daughter. Nobody helped me except for this woman that worked there. So I go up to this woman that worked there, and I'm like, hey, can you help me? I'm trying to find my daughter. I know that we are adjusted to the fact that this probably doesn't normally happen where children get abducted, but it's real, And I was like just astounded because like all these people like are just looking at me, and I'm like screaming, I cannot find my daughter. And this woman's like, we're gonna find her. And she calls like code Adam over the loudspeaker, and everybody just stops, and they blocked off the doors, and I literally, my brain just stopped, and like I started panicking, and I start crying, like hysterically crying, and I'm like screaming, Lily, where the are you? Well, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like getting so upset. I'm like, I am gonna hurt you. Like, I am so mad. I was just like, oh my God, I was so mad. I'm like mad and upset and scared. I'm like all over the place, and I'm running back and forth, like back to the place we were and back to the other place again, and I just keep going back and forth and screaming, have you seen a little girl? Lily, where are you? Oh my God, I was And I remember just stopping and thinking, oh my God, if he got her, it's already been too long. She's already out. She's already out of the building. They probably went the back. They definitely didn't go to the front. So I go to the exit in the back of the store, and I start running that way because I'm thinking, like, what would a criminal do? What would a criminal do? Oh my God, I'm too stupid and, like, not fast enough to find her. Like, I already know they're better than me. I already know that, like, I am too far gone, that I am not smart enough to find where they would be right now, because I literally have 2 minutes to find her, if that's the truth. Like, this is what my brain is thinking, and I'm trying to think logically. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm like, I can't. Screaming her name is not going to help. I need to get people to see her. I'm like, if they saw her, they have to tell me something. I have to do it now. I only have like 2 minutes, and that's where my brain was at. And I almost like thought my brain was like thinking, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if you don't have your daughter? What are you going to do? Are you going to make it? What's going to happen? Like, that's really where my brain went. And, like, I'm, like, talking to myself. Like, why am I thinking like that? She's probably fine. She's probably around the corner. She's probably perfectly normal and perfectly fine, and she just ran off like she does, you know? And, finally, I scream, like, super loud, Lily! And I hear all these people, like, turn around, and I hear her go, what? And I'm like, oh my God, you should have seen all the tears. It was terrible. And this has happened a little bit like that before, but not to that extent. You know, usually she's like in a pile of clothes, hiding in a clothes rack or something. She loves to do this to me. And the lady goes, oh, she's right here. And she's hiding behind the pole. She had been hiding behind a pole the whole time. And she's like having a panic attack behind this pole, going, you left me, and the lady's like, come on, no, I'm not coming, and I'm just like crying, and this lady's smiling at me, and I'm crying, and she's smiling, and it was like terrible. And I just thought to myself, wow, the only one who helped was this lady that worked here and the lady with her. And like, I don't know. I know that I just can't believe how normalized it is for people to like not be able to find their kids, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess like everybody reacted the way I would. I would have been like, oh, they'll find them. They're fine. But like, I was a hot mess, and I feel bad because I was so loud and obnoxious, like running around down these aisles trying to find my kid, and like I literally left her because I was trying to find her, and like she was right in the section where I had been the whole time, and I went the wrong way trying to find her. But I guess it goes to show how quickly your child could really get abducted. And I know that she didn't, so it didn't happen. But I've never had a scare like that, and it literally blew my mind how many thoughts I had in like 5 minutes. And I mean, I don't know. I am literally already thinking, like in this moment, like, God, why would you do this to me? I already lost enough. You can't do this. Like, that's not possible. And these are the things that I always thought when bad things happen, like, there couldn't possibly be a worse thing that could happen to me. Like, that's what I used to think. And it was always in my mind, like, you know, you couldn't possibly put all these bad things in one person's life, you know, at the same time. And I've always had that thought every time something bad happened, like to try to comfort myself, like nothing worse is going to happen, or like when I thought something bad was going to happen or something negative was going to come on, like my brain would be like, it's not possible, it's not going to happen. And the summer before my sister passed away, I was tracing back and forth in the house every single night. That's why I work nights, so I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was super paranoid. I always thought I could hear ghosts. I thought a lot of stuff. I thought somebody was going to come hurt me. I thought a lot of different crazy things. And, like, they really do happen. And that's what I've learned. And I used to think, what if my sister dies? What if my friends die? What if my one friend, you know, passed away? And I used to think, what if he dies? And, like, these are thoughts that I had all the time. But I thought there was no possible way that, like, in my life, that just by sheer luck I could lose all these people at once or even at all, and that it just wouldn't happen. And it's not true. Like, it's not true. And I guess what this comes down to is like those things are totally real, completely possible. You can have the worst luck of your life and have a million bad things happen to you at once, and you just have to advocate for yourself and be prepared for them, because it does happen. And I guess this is something where I need to look up strategies of what to do in case you do lose your child and somebody does take them, and how to find them in those first 5-10 minutes, because I was not prepared, and I was like so scared and shocked at how unprepared I really was, because I am only one person and I do not know how to shoot a gun, and I want to learn how to, because I need protection for myself and my kids. And I don't know, I feel like I want to be safe and I want to feel safe, and I just don't. In public, I don't feel safe, and that's sad that we can't feel safe, or we have to feel powerless, or we have to feel like other people are going to hurt us or do us wrong, you know. But another thing I want to quickly talk about, so I have PSVT. My heart rate likes to jump up. I have an electrical issue where out of nowhere it will speed up and it will go through the rest of the heart and cause me to have, you know, a really high heart rate, because my heart is trying to fix itself and go back to normal. And this happens a lot, and I have a routine, and usually it goes away. And when it happens, you know, it gets really high and I feel like I can't breathe. And I usually take my medicine, ibupropanol, I take that, and I splash like cold water on my face, I rub my eyes, I rub my neck, I do a whole bunch of things for this. And I've been going through testing for MS and all that. I'm in the process of that with the neurology. And I've noticed that when I have a lot of autoimmune issues, I also have the heart issue as well. I don't know if they're connected yet. We haven't figured that out. But what I'm coming down to this is, I guess the doctor kind of looked at me like, you know, you have this. Because I ended up going to the hospital. It wouldn't come down. I got scared. I went to the hospital, and I taken my medicine. And I'm sitting there, and I think it was only like 130 or so when I got into the hospital. And he's like, you know, you have this. Like, this is your diagnosis. You know your history. And, like, I'm thinking to myself, I always feel like I'm going to die. And it's like in my mind I'm thinking, what if this is that time? What if this is the time that I'm going to die? And it's like I have been in limbo with these illnesses and issues with my body for a long time. I was at one point diagnosed being a hypochondriac, and I am a hypochondriac, but these were real issues. I was diagnosed with anxiety. After my sister died, I went to an autoimmune, huge autoimmune issues, and I was getting really ill. I didn't feel good, and basically the stress on my body caused me to have an exacerbation, and I just felt literally horrible. My heart rate was shooting up constantly. Yes, I did have anxiety, but they kept trying to put me on medication for anxiety instead of actually taking care of the heart problem. And finally, I had like a stroke-like incident where I went blind in both my eyes. It was like somebody took a curtain and put them down over my eyes, and I went numb from my fingertips up to half my arm. And it's like, it's anxiety, it's an aura migraine, it's not aura migraines. And the funny thing is, I know it's not, and I thought maybe it's blood sugar. So many tests, so many Holter monitors, EKGs. I've had at least 30 of them, It's just, I get sick of like saying the same thing over and over again to doctors and them looking at me like I don't know what I'm talking about, because it's like I finally got proof of my heart condition recently, and it was like the nicest feeling in the whole world. And I don't even know how to tell you that, because nobody wants to know they're sick or they have a deformity, but like I was so happy to be like, look it, I have a real problem. I'm not making it up. I have been living this life where I struggle and I suffer on a daily basis because I can't breathe at night, because I can't lie down because of the weight on my chest. Like, it is real things, and I've been saying this for so long. My legs swell, my ankles swell at night, and if I'm on my feet a lot, I work 16-hour shifts when I work, so I come home and my legs are swelling, Obviously, I need to get a good pair of shoes, and I need to drink a lot less things with salt in it and eat a lot less salt and all those things. But, like, why as a 24-year-old do I go through that? And I need to definitely get answers for these questions. And that goes to me being responsible and taking care of myself as well. And when I say that, I mean I need to go to my appointments and not just miss them because I'm so tired and so exhausted. And, my psychologist, or whatever you want to call him, for behavioral health, he sent me to the hospital a couple weeks ago because my heart rate was 100 and my baseline is late 70s. And for me, I'm used to having a 100 heart rate. It doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. It happens all the time. I take my medicine. It goes down. It's not really high for me. But he got worried, and, like, he was doing the right thing. He really was. He was doing the right thing. And here I am kind of, like, mad that he sent me out and did something that's exactly what I wanted. So if you're going through that kind of limbo of people not believing you and you trying to find a diagnosis to your problems, just keep going back to the doctor. It's hard. It's terrible. It's obnoxious. It's frustrating. You think you're going to die. You don't believe in the medical system. People keep telling you you're wrong, or they give you misinformation. You get different questions and answers from different people. The internet doesn't serve you no purpose besides making you more afraid and more anxious and more knowledgeable about the wrong things. And, it's okay to look into what's going on with you, but keep everything with a grain of salt and don't believe that everything is always right, because not every diagnosis is right. Not every diagnosis is wrong. I'm happy I went into this field because it has served me a good purpose, but I am looking, hopefully, to work in a rehab facility at some point in my life. I do want to work in treatment. I do want to work with recovering addicts. That is what I do best. That is what I love. That is where my passion is. But hold your kids close. That's my end of the day message. Hold your children close, because I never realized how afraid and how terrible it would feel to lose my daughter until I got sort of close in those couple of minutes. And I feel bad for my mom for losing her daughter, and I feel bad for all those people who have had their kids abducted. I just can't imagine how painful it feels to them to feel like they, like they let them down and that they didn't protect them, because that's how I felt. For 1 minute, I felt like, oh, I'm such a horrible mother that I lost sight of her. No, I'm not a horrible mom. My kid doesn't listen. She ran away from me. Kids do that. It happens all the time. And if you were thinking that, then you're kind of a shitty person. But at the end of the day, we do need to tell our children, do not do that. We do need to chew them out and remind them that they cannot do those things. And they are probably still going to make mistakes, just as we will as parents. But just please be careful when you visit a store. I know there's been a lot of human traffickers coming in and stealing children. We had an abduction happen at the Dunkirk Walmart a year ago. So just be careful. Anything can happen. It really can. So be prepared. All right. Thank you, guys. I love you. Have a good one. Please share this video and go ahead and check out Breaking Chains, The Whitney Project on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you.